All right, let's talk about those Atlanta Falcons. And yes, Reagan, I am drinking the Kool-Aid in the Falcons. 9.5 win total. Key losses: Calais Campbell, Bud Dupree, Desmond Ridder. Really not that key of a loss. He was cheeks. Jonnu Smith, Jeff Okudah. Some key adds: Kirk Cousins, Darnell Mooney, Rondell Moore. 9.5 wins, Reagan. They lost 6 games by 1 score last year, by the way. So kind of due for a little bit of regression in that regard. They finished 7-10. They've won 7 games, 3 seasons in a row. Do they make it a 4th year in a row?
No, they don't. They're gonna go 10-7 this year. They're gonna flip the script. Go win 10 games, only lose 7 this year. But I mean, I believe in Kirk Cousins, and also their division's trash. I mean, they have I believe, they have the easiest. They have the easiest
schedule in the league this year.
I mean, also a big point, something that's not like repeatable or like you don't normally see the trend repeat. They were 30th in the turnover to takeover ratio. They were -12 last year. That's crazy, I expect that to get better with Kirk Cousins and also Raheem Morris being a defensive coach. I expect the defense to cause more takeaways. So I think something as simple as that will help. Just better ball security on offense and more takeaways on defense will be huge. But, you know, I'm bought into Kirk Cousins, and obviously he's got some good weapons. I mean, they've taking Kyle Pitts and Drake London and Bijan, I mean, that's 3 straight years of investing first-round picks in the skill player guys, and then they go out and sign Mooney. They got Kadarrell Hodges back. I mean, even though they lost Cordell and Jonnu, I'm super excited about that. Didn't they get another wide receiver? Who was the other one we were talking about earlier? I thought they got
Rondell Moore.
Oh, yeah, Rondell Moore. So, I mean, they went out and got some stuff, and their O-line's not terrible. I mean,
their offensive line's legit, man.
They still got Jake Matthews.
Ranked 4th by Pro Football Focus last year.
Yeah, and then that's another thing. A lot of those guys were first-round picks as well on the O-line. So they've just really addressed the offense. And I think getting Raheem Morris, a defensive-minded coach there, and just the fact that their division is cheeks, they're going to go 10-7. I think they could be, depending on Kirk's health, they're definitely a team that could be sneaky come playoff time, but I still don't know if they have the roster to really make a Super Bowl appearance push.
Yeah, so I have the Falcons at 11-6.
Wow.
You touched on a lot of things I was going to touch on. I mean, Desmond Ridder was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league last year. Bottom of the league in every metric. Inaccurate. Terrible. Kirk Cousins, massive upgrade. Mm-hmm. Zach Robinson running the offense, coming over from the Rams. Huge upgrade over Arthur Smith. So instead of having 2 tight end sets, there's going to be a lot more 3 wide receiver sets. They're going to open it up more. So that's why they added Darnell Mooney. I think a lot of these guys are definitely playable in fantasy. I would stash Mooney, maybe even more. I think Kyle Pitts and Drake London should theoretically have career years, given the drastic shift in quarterback play. I touched on their offensive line. I mean, 4th by Pro Football Focus last year. That's huge for Kirk coming back from Achilles to be behind that. You mentioned easiest schedule projected. Also, Sharp's projecting the easiest schedule of run defenses in the entire league. So that Bijan and Algier duo should eat. Bijan had 1,463 yards and 8 touchdowns on only 272 touches last year. So I expect those numbers to go up. Talking about the defense. I mean, this is why everyone was bashing them for taking Michael Penix number 8 overall. They've just been dying for edge rushers for so long. 25th in pressure rate last year. They lost Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree, who were their 2 best sack artists, to be honest with you. And they've had problems getting after the quarterback for so long. That worries me. A.J. Terrell was good bounce-back season last year. He was an All-Pro in 2021, so they need him to return to that form. Actually has not had an interception since his All-Pro year in 2021. They need him to get back there. That's a nice
little wrinkle.
Yeah, right? Jesse Bates, stud. He was an All-Pro last year. I believe he's the highest-rated safety in Madden, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really use Madden as my talking
point. Well, I'm not either. He was a first-team All-Pro, so,
no, he's good. No, he's good,
No, actually, second-team All-Pro. He had 6 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, stud in the back end. Grady Jarrett's getting up there in age. David Onyemata was solid, but those 2 guys in the interior, I'm not worried about. It's more so on the edge.
Yeah.
Arnold Ebidike from Kansas State they drafted a couple years ago. 6 sacks last season, was 3rd on the team. 6.5 from Calais and Dupree. They're not going to get after the quarterback then. You know, they need their defensive backs to hold up, which
I
means
mean,
AJ Terrell's got to stay healthy.
They did, and in the draft, I mean, obviously they got the tackle from Clemson, Othoro.
Yeah,
and
Rook.
then they
Yeah,
got
Rook. I mean, he was
Rook,
a little
I knew I was
risky.
gonna
Another
butcher
guy
it.
took till his 5th year to break out, like Leggett.
Yeah.
So those are always a little risky.
But I mean, that's the
I like
203.
Dorless,
I mean,
though.
they took him at 34th, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. And then Trice out of Washington, the edge rusher. So if he can, I mean, he's pretty good at Washington, but obviously 3rd-round pick, you never know. It's a lottery pick, and then they took Doris from Oregon. So I mean,
I like
the next
the guy
3
from Oregon.
picks they addressed on the D line. So hopefully at least one of those guys pans out.
Dorless is on the interior. He ranked,
Yeah.
I believe he was top 3 the last 2 years with pressure rate from the interior. So that's a good stat. That translates well. You like guys pushing the pocket. So for getting a guy like that in the 4th round, I like it. The defense worries me, but ultimately, I think the offense is going to be high-powered, and they're going to be in a lot of shootouts.
Why are you playing music, dude?
Yeah, what's going on over there, Garrett?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the room next door. But
fuck.
I agree with you, Reagan. I think they're going to win the division here, but I'm worried about them come playoff time if they have to go on the road to an outdoor. Like, if they got to play in Philadelphia, I don't know. If they got to play in San Francisco, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if they're playing in the Dome, I think they got a good shot to make a run.
Hey, and they still got Young Hoku. Dude can kick that thing.
He can kick that thing.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited for Raheem Morris and the staff. I mean, he can't be any worse than what Arthur Smith
Yeah,
had.
I mean, I'm just happy this year I don't got to go every week and be like, "Can get Arthur Smith out of here." It just happened so much last season.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? So you got them going far in the playoffs. I mean, you have them winning the division, I'd imagine, at 11 and 6.
I have them
right?
winning the division 11-7. I don't know how far I have them going in the playoffs yet. I think they'll, with a home game, they should win one game, but there's always the threat that they got to play a team like Dallas/Philadelphia. That'll worry me a little bit. And even a team like
or Detroit/Green
Bay/Green Bay/ Chicago, even the Rams. Like, there's a lot of teams in the NFC. I think the NFC is getting better.
Oh, yeah. No.
So I think it's, I don't know. I don't know if I'm having to win a playoff game. Got to see how it unravels, but I do have them winning the division.
Yeah, for sure.